Hi, this is Matthew. This is a Love Buddy, Love is Alive daily broadcast, 10 p.m. New York time, 10 a.m. Philippines time, which is where I am right now. Today is Friday, the 31st of May, 2019. And in New York, it's 10 p.m. on the 30th of May on Thursday night. Thanks so much for being here. Hi, Tua. Good friend of mine just joined. Great to see you. He and I have been friends for many years. We met in Malaysia many years ago, and I went to visit him where he was living in Penang Island, and now we haven't seen each other for several years. But Chua is also interested in community. He's interested in what real love is, and he tries to apply love in his life when it comes to Christianity. And when it comes to his personal religious beliefs. And Chua's been a real good friend of mine. So great to see you. Shout out to Chua saying hello. Hope everything's going great with you. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is how life changes, how love is life changing. When you get into love, which is, hey buddy. So when you get into love and you have the foundation of love, love is your foundation in life. Not arbitrary things, not arbitrary principles, not made up dogma, not some other goal that has nothing to do with love. But if love is the center of your life, then it really changes your life. I mean, your life changes around completely, because what you have is a whole new foundation. You have a whole new reference point. You have a whole new starting point for everything you do, everything you think, every goal that you have, and everything that you aspire to do. And your inspiration can completely become more in line with who you really are and more in harmony with the world, so that you're working more with the natural ebb and flow of the world, the natural current of life. It gets you in sync, it gets you in harmony, so you're not fighting the world, not fighting life, not fighting your environment, and in addition, you're not fighting yourself. So there are 5 key areas here, 5 key areas of change, and I want to look at those. We're going to look at those right now. I'm going to take this information and copy it so that it's easier for me to see. Okay, so one of the first key areas that love changes in your life is your inner compass. What right and wrong is, what good and evil is. It actually erases these generalizations about somebody who's a good person or somebody's an evil person. I see it all the time, for example, Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa said a lot of really great things. She did a lot of really great things. And then there's a whole movement. I think, if I don't have it wrong, Christopher Hitchens hated her guts, and said she was a fake and she was a phony and she did all these things. Okay. Maybe Mother Teresa wasn't perfect, and maybe there were some deceptive or manipulative things she did. I don't know. I don't care. Because what I can take from her legacy, what I can take from her quotations, is a lot of really wonderful, inspiring things. So no single person is right or wrong, good or bad. When we come from love, when we come from compassion and understanding, when we reach a true understanding, we even realize that so many people are against Donald Trump. And there's so many, I don't know, the people that I've met that are pro-Trump, they don't seem to be so emotionally upset inside. They just say, hey, I feel pretty good about the things that he's doing. Me, personally, I don't care either way, because I don't think that the U.S. government, the leadership, is working well at all the way it's designed. So to me, it doesn't matter who's the president, because the president follows more of an agenda that's given to him or her, and they don't really have the power to change things once you kind of reach that point. So I don't care either way, whether it's Trump or whoever it is. But people that are against Trump really, really hate him. I mean, they say all kinds of really rude things about him. And they're really moved, they're really inspired with this kind of acidic anger, And so they say, okay, they would definitely say that Trump is bad, but when you have love as your center, nobody's really 100% good and nobody's really 100% bad. It doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. We can't say Republicans are good and Democrats are bad, or vice versa. We can't say abortion is bad. We can't say that drugs are bad, and we can't say that they're good. Different situations, especially when it comes to the abortion issue, people get so divided about that. And it seems that the people that are against abortion are the same kind of people that are against Trump. There's so much hate inside, and there's so much name calling, and there's so much foul language that's used. And I don't think anybody that ever has had an abortion, or anybody who faces an abortion, isn't totally traumatized by the situation and feels terrible about the situation. I liken it to amputation. It's cutting off part of yourself. It doesn't feel good. It's not a positive thing. People make decisions. People do the best they can. So whether we're hating Trump or we're hating right to lifers or people who are right to choice people or whatever we're doing, when we have love as our inner compass, it's not about right and wrong. It's about doing the best we can based upon the principles of love: compassion, respect, understanding, consideration, nurturing, listening, communicating, being calm inside. The second key area that life really changes when you have love as your foundation, if you have love as your center, is where you put your energy. Suddenly you're not chasing your tail. Suddenly you're not confused about, well, should I get this job? Should I do that job? Should I move here? Should I live here? Should I pursue this relationship or that relationship? Should I become a this or should I become a that? All that really becomes much, much simpler to decide, because when you look at what's going to be the most nurturing and most compassionate, the most empowering decision that you can make, and the most considerate to your environment, to yourself, things fall into place pretty quickly. And if they don't, either way is okay. You can turn left or you can turn right. Either way is going to be all right. We never know 100% what the future is going to be. Should I go to school to be an artist, or should I go to school to become an electronic technician? If it's that 50-50, if you really, really can't decide, it doesn't really matter that much. But all the other decisions in life that are really going to make a difference: should I go to war? Should I get divorced? These kind of decisions become much more simple because you're using love and compassion and understanding as your foundation, as your center. Third, romantic and other relationships change 100%. I can testify to that completely, how being love-centered has allowed me and taught me to let go of principles. Like, my relationship is supposed to be this way. My partner is supposed to be like that. This is what I stand, this is what I gotta have. And if I don't have that, it means that something basic is wrong. I mean, I've had this paranoia for so many years and so many relationships, and it's literally destroyed my romantic relationships. It has destroyed relationships with friendships because I wasn't able to be compassionate to myself, understanding to myself, a good communicator with a good intention, communicating what I feel in my heart in a way that the other person can accept it and understand it. That goes for my relationship with my parents and my siblings, my brothers and sisters. It goes for my relationships with my friends, and it goes for my romantic relationships too, relationships with people in my community. And it's a learning process. I'm still learning. That's what love is all about. It's a continuously learning process. So we're open to learning more. If we have that humility that love gives us, we realize there's no 100% right, there's no 100% wrong, there's none of this principle garbage that messes things up, and there's nothing that's so sacred that we can't look at it again and evaluate that again and say, is this compassionate, is this love? Nothing is so sacred and untouchable, nothing, when we have love as our reference, when we have love as our center. So my romantic relationships now, my one relationship that I have, I feel like it's 100% different than any relationship I've ever had. It's complete 180. It's completely the other direction. It's so stable. And I'm so lucky to have met this person. And I'm so lucky that she's the person that she is, and that I understand love now too. so that when some of these crazy ideas come up inside of my mind, I can just let them go. I don't have to hold on to these things. I don't have to stand for some principle that will destroy the relationship, will create conflict. Doesn't matter. Go towards the understanding, go towards the compassion, go towards the communication, go towards letting go. Love lets go. Love doesn't hold on to these things that make us crazy, that make us so frustrated, that make us protest, that make us be angry, make us stand for what we think is right. Because none of that stuff exists. That's just an emotional, psychotic head trip. It's nuts. And all it does is create conflict. And all we can do with ourselves and with other people around us in our relationships is be patient, be understanding. Do the best we can to be compassionate. Do the best we can to nurture. Do the best we can to contribute to each other, contribute to ourselves, take care of ourselves. Be kind. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Number 4, money and success. I mentioned this before. I had a really good friend of mine who was building this IT business and selling this software and making thousands of dollars a day. And he was all excited about that. His personality really changed a lot, so he didn't really have a chance. He didn't really have the interest in connecting anymore like we used to connect, have the interesting conversations we used to have. And I said to him, how much money do you want to make? I said, what's your goal financially? What's the limit that you think, okay, that's enough for me to have a happy life? And he just he didn't get that. He thought it was nuts. He wanted to make an unlimited amount of money because he wanted to be super rich. Well, if we have love as our center, money's not our center anymore. We don't want an unlimited amount of anything. We want the right amount of things. We want a balance in our life. We want enough money so that we can live the way we need to live, to have our personal financial security, take care of our health, food, roof over our heads, things that we need to live a happy life. And that rarely ever includes a mansion or a super sports car or several cars or collections of exotic things. Not necessarily. That can be the case. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm saying that when you have a foundation of love, your focus is on sharing love, being compassionate, being understanding, and that rarely involves super indulgences in any direction because they're not necessary. This is more of a compulsive thing. This is more based upon insecurity. This is more based upon the idea that, I have to show the neighbor next door that I have a better car, that I have a better house, that I have better this or better that, because that means success. Well, what does success mean to you when you have love as your center, when you have love as your foundation? Success means happiness. It means joy. Success means feeling calm. Success means sharing the love, having love in your life, being what we call in the love zone. And in that love zone, we're relaxed, we're calm, we're happy, we're joyful, we're inspired, we're enthusiastic, we're passionate about life, and we're living life. We're doing what we do, whatever that is, whatever your passion is, whatever your joy is. That's success to you when you have love as your center, when you have love as your foundation. Success and money completely change for you if you've been on this corporate ladder, this strive to compete, this strive to get rich, these ideas that people have. And having traveled to different places in the world, coming from the USA, going to other places, people think the USA is so rich and there's a lot of poverty there. There are a lot of people dying because they don't have money for medical bills. There are a lot of people living on the street, homeless. There are a lot of addiction. There's a lot of violence. So America isn't really what people thought it was. And the people are getting to know more and more what America is really about. The American dream is a nightmare for a lot of us. So people get this idea, though, that, I want to go to America, or I want to live like an American, and that means being rich. Couldn't be further from the truth, could it? So they have this passion, they have this desire, they have this goal, they have this compulsion they have this necessity inside, this yearning to be rich, because they think that that's going to make them happy. And when you have billions of people on earth that are living on $2 a day, barely able to find clean water, much less nutritious food, much less stable income or a roof over their heads that can protect them from the wind and rain and the elements, striving towards being rich, that's the idea of success for so many people. So much of the world is being deceived into thinking money is what success is about, or having these great, glittery things is what success is about. And it isn't really at all. And when we have love as our foundation, when we have love as our center, when we really understand the richness that life can give us, the meaningfulness that life can give us, none of those things mean anything. Okay, the last one, passion, actualization, and contribution. When love is the center, when love is our foundation, when we have love in our lives, when we're living in the love zone, we're passionate. We're able to see clearly what it is that really excites us in life, what our particular destiny is, what our particular ambition is. When I say destiny, I don't mean what we're destined to do long term and that defines us. No, I just mean that for right now, what we want to do, what our ambition is, what we're excited about. We're in touch with that because we're in touch with ourselves. Why? Because we are calm enough to listen to ourselves. We're calm enough to communicate with ourselves. And we realize that I really enjoy this thing in life. I really love doing this thing. This thing really excites me. This thing really turns me on. Actualization. We become the us that is the perfect expression, or a more perfect expression of who we really are inside. That actualization, becoming us, becoming who we are as individuals. When we actualize as an individual, it helps us to actualize as a community, as a family, as a race, as humanity. That's something that each of us can do ourselves. We can actualize, and when you have a love-centered life, you do that. Automatically comes. It naturally occurs. And because of that, when we become aware of who we are, we're being who we are, we're being the most perfect expression of ourselves, we're automatically contributing. Instead of not contributing, instead of spinning our wheels, instead of doing some dead-end job that we really don't like, that's not really contributing to anybody in reality, but doing something from the heart, getting good at something we really believe in, becoming an artist in our own way, even if it's accounting. You can be an artist at accounting. You can be an artist at anything in life. When you feel that inside, when we grow, when we have the ability and the focus to refine our craft, to refine our skills in whatever your area that is, that automatically contributes to others. So if you're a carpenter and you've been banging things together just because you're just trying to make a living, but your heart isn't really into it, and then you realize, wow, I really do love carpentry, and I'm going to slow down a little bit, and I'm going to do higher quality work. I'm going to do more beautiful work. I'm going to do work that inspires me more, that I feel more passionate about. And I'm going to deal with customers that are passionate about the work that I do, that appreciate what I do. I'm going to seek out and I'm going to find those people that really appreciate the kind of work that I do. So I'm going to become an artist as a carpenter. I'm not just going to become like a mass manufacturing guy who's just banging out this low quality garbage, but I'm going to focus on something that's really an expression of me, my creativity, my desire for quality, my desire for the respect of the art that I have. And imagine how much that's going to change that guy's world, how much that's going to change his business, how much that's going to change his life, and how much that's going to change everybody around him. So instead of having this garbage furniture that we're used to that might fall apart, look terrible, give us splinters, whatever, we're going to have this really high quality stuff that's really, really great to sit on or to use in our homes, because that guy decided to follow his passion. That guy decided to be love-centered, and that benefits us all. So there's an automatic, Gandhi said something like, be the change you want to see in the world. This is absolutely it. That doesn't mean that if you want to see less litter, you just stop littering yourself. I used to think it was that, and I thought, wow, that's not really very inspiring, because people all around me are littering, and that doesn't open the door to my vision, and my vision is not garbage all over the place. So how do we apply that? How do we understand what Gandhi said with love? Yeah, I would stop littering myself. I haven't been littering. I don't litter. So that's an easy call, right? So if I want to see the change in the world where there's less litter, what can I do? Well, I could buy garbage cans. I could put a sign up that says, please use the garbage can. I could encourage people. I could do some kind of campaign. I could do some kind of fundraiser. I could do some kind of an event. I could do some kind of an education thing with kids. I could do some research about how litter is hurting things and share that information with people. And I could do it in a kind and respectful and compassionate way. And there are a million things that I could do if I want to see less litter in my environment, in my world, in the world. There are a million things I could do. So I'm not limited to just changing my own personal habits. I'm limited to anything that would be within the guidelines of what love is. I don't want to be rude to people. I don't want to be forceful. I don't want to penalize people. I don't want to punish people if they drop something on the ground. I don't want to be that way. I want to look at the positive side, and love is positive, and love is encouraging. So anything that we have inside that we want to see change in the world, we can do that. We have that freedom. As long as we stay within the guidelines of what love is, we're going to be really successful, and we're not going to be fighting against the current. We're not going to be saying, hey, pick that garbage up and things like that. We're not going to be creating conflict. We might pick it up ourselves. We might set an example. There are a million ways that we can do it. Love is dynamic. Love is always changing. There's always new ways to love. Love is an energy. It's a vibration. It's a foundation. It's everywhere. And we can tap into that. What's the nature of electricity? The nature of electricity could be anything. It could be your blow dryer. It could be a light bulb. It could be a machine. It could be a radio. It could be a phone. It could be a million things, right? So love is similar. You tap into love. It can be expressed in a million different ways. And when we tap into love, the way we're loving today might be different than the way we're loving tomorrow or the way we were loving yesterday. Things change, don't they? Because we're in a different place. Because the world is in a different place. When you play a game of chess, you don't make the same move every time. You look at the current situation and you make the appropriate move for that. You're still playing chess. Love is not a static set of rules and dogma ever. Let go of that. Love is flexible. Love is what we feel the right thing to do is right now. That's what love is about. So these are the key things that life has really changed for me. These are the key things that love changes in your life when you become love-centered, when you have love as your foundation in life. Absolutely turned my world around. I don't know how to express it, but it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing, and I just want to share that with you. And that's what today's about. So, okay, so I'm here every day, 10 o'clock New York time, 10 p.m. New York time, 10 a.m. Philippines or China time. Hope you're having a wonderful day or night, whatever time it is for you. Please look at the comments here if you're looking for links to learn more about. There are free giveaways, ebooks, and things like that, other information. And you're welcome to take a look at that. You're welcome to take part in that. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being there. I love you. Have a wonderful day. This is Matthew from Love Buddy.